Hola, buenos dias, good morning. Camping Italia here on Minorca with a pool and a very loud and annoying school group here at the moment. But fortunately they are staying in a different part of the campground from where I was, and it was nice and quiet last night. I have a rental car. Let's get out of here and go explore beautiful Menorca in the Mediterranean Sea. Here we go. And so here's the island. I am right about there. Here you can see 10 kilometers. That right there is about the same as that distance there. 3 kilometers or so from here to the beach there. Over here is the port town of Ciutadella. I arrived there a couple of days ago and then stayed in a hostel for 2 nights. Over here is the capital town of Mau. And somebody recommended these beaches up here. So I think I will start driving north, get up there, find some epic beaches and jump in the sea. And so this is Santo Tomas on the south edge of the island. Just taking a quick look here and then going to keep on cruising back north and go up to those nice beaches up there. Just wanted to see what's here. A nice little beach spot, but pretty crowded. Santo Tomas. There's the whole island. Heading next up here and going to make a stop right here that should be really cool. Casal de el Toro, House of the Bull. And I believe that is in Catalan, not Spanish. Catalan is a language of this region of Spain. And so I am in an interesting spot here. This is the tallest mountain in Menorca, called El Toro, or the Bull, at about 340 meters or 1,122 feet. And this is a sacred spot. You saw the church there. Look at the incredible views. I was just over there on the southern edge of the island, and then that is looking west and north. And so there is a legend about some people finding an image of the Virgin Mary here. They were led here by a bull, El Toro, led up to the top of this mountain, and then because of the sighting of the Virgin Mary, I forget what it was, like on a rock or something like that, then they made it a sanctuary spot and built this church and everything. There's a lot of history. That was in the 13th century. And then it has been a fortification, a important military site, and then was abandoned and then refurbished, and so a kind of key position here on Minorca. And amazing how you can see all of the island. And this is the little village of Fornells on the north side of the island. Beautiful little town here. That water is looking nice and clear. I will find a different spot to take a swim somewhere nearby.
Vamos acá a la Caldana, llegamos de comer y cogemos el barco por la tarde y nos quitamos del medio de las caras.
Y en agua.
Sí, vas pensando porque...
And so this town was originally established as a defensive fortification on this part of the island to repel like pirates and various invaders. And so they built a watchtower right here, and a little town started to form around it. And then they decided that the watchtower wasn't enough and they should build a castle. And they like started to build the castle, and then like funds ran out, and so they had to stop building the castle. And then sometime later, this was in the 17th century, then they got the funds for building the castle and built it, and it was here for quite a while. And then the castle was destroyed during an invasion by, I think, the British, because the British attacked here at one point and took it over, and then the French took it over at one point, and then the Spanish took it back. Although, as I mentioned previously about the language of Catalan, this region of Spain is kind of unofficially referred to as Catalonia, although that refers to more than just Spain, because Andorra, the tiny little country in the Pyrenees Mountains between Spain and France, the official language in Andorra is Catalan. It is the only country in the world that has the official language of being Catalan. And so Catalan is a Romance language derived from Latin and has similarities to Spanish and Italian, but it is distinct. And many people speak it in this northeastern part of Spain, and then in Andorra and in southeastern France in the Pyrenees, in a like little sliver of France there. That is about all that I know about Catalan, just kind of learning about the language and the culture in the course of being here in this part of Spain. The Balearic Islands of Menorca here, and Minorca, and Ibiza and Formentera are all part of the Catalonia region. The official language is shared between Catalan and Spanish. Many people speak Catalan as their first language, many speak Spanish as their first language, and most will know both languages. So I have no idea if those guys are speaking Catalan or Spanish. I'd be curious to know. They sound similar to me. I'm sure that a native speaker would disagree with that, but so for example, I've seen the word supermercat, and it is referring to a supermarket, and I'm going to guess that must be Catalan, because in Spanish it's supermercado. See, right there, supermercat. You never see that like in Mexico, you know, where they're speaking Spanish only. And of course, there are also differences between the Spanish spoken in Mexico and in Spain here. I wanted a juice recently at a restaurant, and in Mexican Spanish it is jugo. And so I was asking for jugo, and they didn't know what I was talking about. And it turns out that juice in Spanish in Spain is zumo. So that might be the watchtower. Maybe not. No entry there. And this is a nice swimming spot here, it looks like. I need to get in that water soon. It is hot. Torre de Fornells, and so I think that means Tower of Fornells, and there it is. However, this is not the same tower that was built in the 17th century that I was talking about before. This tower was built between 1801 and 1802 by the British. The British occupied this island throughout the 18th century, so the 1700s, and then they built this tower in order to help protect the island from attacks by both the French and the Spanish. But through a treaty, then the island of Minorca was returned to the Spanish in 1802. And so they built this tower between 1801 and 1802. And then right after that, then there was an agreement to return the island back to the Spanish. And so the tower could house like 50 men. And from this tower, they could see two other towers which they could communicate with in order to, you know, warn if there was an attack or whatever. And then here's a little shrine. And so right there I can see a lighthouse, probably built more recently, but maybe that was one of the positions of one of the other watchtowers, and here it is. It is actually quite a sturdy structure and great views in every direction, not just for one's pleasure. That's a lot better. Notice the little hiker there. So there is a trail that goes around the entire island of Menorca called the Camí de, I think, Caval, something like that. It means like the trail of horses. And one of the reasons that I came here to Menorca was to walk that trail. And so I think that sign there was referring to the trail being, you know, out there somewhere. It goes all along the coast, and it takes like 10 days or so to walk the entire thing. Now, I haven't decided for sure if I'm going to do that hike yet or not. It is July, and it is very hot. And it might be better to do that hike at another time of the year, like in the spring or fall. Another consideration for me is time and whether I want to spend another 10 days on this island or keep on traveling and go see some other places. I've already decided where I'm going to next. We'll keep it a little secret, a little surprise, but it's going to be a really cool destination, a new country I've never been to before and which does not get a whole lot of attention. So we'll see when I take off from here. That lighthouse again. Check this out. There's a bit of a conundrum. This truck can't pass cars on this road. Ay, 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 ay. Check it out, the Camille de Caval. So this is part of the trail that I was talking about that goes around the island. I was just swimming right there and thought that I would walk over and at least get a little view of the other beach. This red dirt is hot though. Might have to put the sandals on. Okay, how does this thing work here? There we go. Wow. Amazing landscapes. There's a tiny little beach right up here, and then I guess another one. I can see more people walking further that way, so lots of hiking to do along here. I guess you can hike as long as you want along the Camille.